Okay, so Google Ads Lab is that event we hold to help our customers generate better results on Google Ads. And today we'll be having Oluwole Ojajuni. He's the founder at Oja's Web Digital Solutions. He's a Google Ads marketing expert. He has been running Google Ads for about 11 years and is with Google Ads. So we'll be the one teaching us in this lab session. He'll be giving us insight on what we can do to get better results from our marketing campaign. So please, so please, can everyone mute their mics so that we will not have distractions and background noise? All right, so we want everyone to please ensure that they're all mute. Also, we'll be using the question and answer tool in this Google Meet. So if you have questions, you can drop them in the question and answer tool. Yeah. If you have questions and you'd like to speak, please raise your hand and then one of the admins would mute you and allow you to ask your questions. All right. So one of my colleagues, Damilola, will be teaching us how to use the question and answer tool that we'll be using for this event. All right, Dami.
Yeah, thank you so much, Iana. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. So if you'd like to drop questions for us, check right on the bottom left, the bottom right corner of your system or your phone. You would see the activities icon. So if you click on the activities icon, the icon has 3 different shapes: triangle, a box, and the circle. If you click on the icon, a modal will show up with activities, and you scroll down to Q&A. Once you click on the Q&A option, you would be able to see the panel that will prompt you to ask a question. All you need to do is to click on the Ask a Question button. Then you will see a text box where you can drop your question for us. Thank you very much. Over back to you, Jan.
All right, thank you so much, Dami. So for everyone that has questions, please just use the Q&A section under the activities, right? And then you can ask your questions there. So please note that this Google Ads Lab is organized by Mercury. Mercury is the owner of AdPay, right? And we're organizing this Google Ads Lab. All right, so right about now, we'll be having our guests, Oluwole Ojajuni, as he takes us through this event. Thank you so much.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Probably I will not be getting a response directly, but I hope everyone can hear me. So I believe it's my time to start the event for the day. So welcome everyone once again. Let's get something doing today. Now, is it if it will be possible? I think we should have we should allow the participant to be able to speak maybe just for maybe 2 to 3 minutes so that we can get to interact before we dive right into the discussion for today. Would that be possible?
Absolutely, sir.
So let's hear from the participant. Let's know, because everyone here is a master, there are bosses in there. Let's hear from the bosses. Let's know what it feels like to be here, and then what the expectations are, and then what we should hammer on mostly for today's event. So if you can hear me, guys, guys, everyone's, let's make it lively today. So let's hear what you expect for today, your challenges with Google Ads, and then what you aim to achieve at the end of today, so that we can work together and then we'll be able to deliver for that towards your goal. So let's talk. If you can hear me, unmute your mic and then let's talk, let's interact for just 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, Mr. John.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Welcome to the event.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What are some of the expectations from your side?
Okay, for me personally, my expectation from today's webinar is to see how I can reduce the cost per conversion in my e-commerce business. Yeah. So personally, that's my challenge because when you convert the exchange rate and stuff like that, and it's so high. So to see if you can get a hack around it. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Any other person?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, my name is Noah. I think one of the challenges I've been experiencing lately is tag. Okay,
Tag.
so yes, my conversion stack is kind of floppy. So I don't know, maybe it's a general thing or just basically me. So basically what happened is maybe after I'll set up the tax, it picks up after a few days is it will stop
Recording.
working. Yes, tracking. So I've even tried both the button try both a kind of enhanced conversion tracking. So I've tried almost some of the basic method I know it should work. I see experience the same. In fact, one of the day I have to reach out to an AdPay support team. So I literally feel like maybe somebody behind might not really know how this stuff work. So I just give up. So when I got the invitation, I said, so you'll be around. I say, cool. I think that is basically what I hope to achieve in today's section.
Okay, that's perfect. Any other person? Okay, in the absence of no other,
Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good day, everyone. I wanted to. Okay, my situation is that currently I was running Google Ad, then my account was suspended because of I was using Flutterwave Beta virtual card. So I wanted to know if I should use AdPay if I won't get suspended because my fear is that if I should use the same email address, Google might be able to detect the system and also flag the account. So that was why I've not funded my account on AdPay. So I don't know if there is a way for me to
We will
leave the
address
account
that. We will
and
address
get it
that.
working.
We address that. I think we have been able to take three major areas of focus for today. Now, let's first start let me start from this angle. I think it is very important for me to say I will have to appreciate what AdPay is doing or what Mercury is doing for Nigerians when it comes to solving one of the most critical Google Ads issue here in Nigeria. I've tried as much as possible to provide solutions to payment issues for Google Ads in Nigeria for so many years, and I think AdPay coming and solving that problem and providing a very reliable solution that can help you to scale however you want to scale without having to worry about sourcing for maybe you are using USD or maybe GBP. That is a very, very great move from AdPay. And then apart from that, with their support and everything they put in place to make it very easy for people to be able to run advert in Nigeria, AdPay has done excellently well in that aspect, and I actually appreciate them for doing that. So AdPay is a very reliable platform that you can use for that, and whatever challenges you are having with the support, I'm also sure that you definitely get the desired help to help you push your advertisement for. So AdPay is doing excellently well. Now let's quickly address the issue of that suspension related to maybe using a virtual card or not. Now, when you are there's one thing I have to first let you guys know. When you are advertising on Google, using Google product, particularly the marketing tools on Google, once you are suspended, one of the policies on Google is that you are not allowed to create an account once you are suspended. It happens across Google's marketing platform, Google Ads and Google AdSense, and even Google Play. When your account is suspended, Google says they don't want you to create another account. It will be better. We can mute our mic now, please. We can mute our mic so that we can hear this. Now, once you are suspended, uh, Usman Mukhtar, please mute your mic, please. Now, once you are suspended, Google don't want you to create an account again, but you can still create an account. And that is where it will be much better for you to work with agency. Once you realize that you have been suspended previously, one of the things you are gaining when you work with agency like AdPay or maybe Ojas is that you are benefiting from the immunities these agencies have. Because with the major challenge you are facing as using virtual card and then you getting suspended probably because of suspicious payment activity, that particular policy will be solved when you use an agency like Mercury AdPay to solve your payment issue. Because this time you are not the one in charge of your payment for the advert on Google again. So you can easily overcome the challenge of account suspension due to payment activity. And again, if you are afraid of creating a new account because you have been previously suspended, one thing you should understand is that when you create an account and you fund your account via AdPay, you still have the opportunity of getting your money back if you choose not to continue with the advertisement, or maybe you get suspended. Your money is not with Google except when you have spent the money. And when you have spent the money, you are not expecting to get, but that actually solve the problem of maybe the fear of maybe if you have been suspended due to a suspicious payment activity and now you are contemplating whether you should go ahead and account with AdPay or not. You should go ahead and create your account and fund it with AdPay, and you should be able to run your advert without any issue. By the way, there are so many policies that can lead to your account being suspended on Google. So it is very encouraging for you to get familiar with the policies so that you don't start getting repeated account suspension, because if you are getting repeated account suspension, then even AdPay's policy itself might also trigger against you, and then you might not be able to create more account in the platform if you are creating an account and you are obviously violating policies and you are getting suspended. So you might not be able to do that with AdPay. But that aside, if you get familiar with the policies and you know that the only major challenges you have been facing is a suspicious payment activity, you can get that one solved 100% and run your advert without having any problem when it comes to advertising on AdPay. Now, so that is about that. And again, let me mention it is not just payment issues that can lead to your account being suspended. On Google, you have to understand that Google advertisement has multiple channels. We have Google search advertisement, we have display advertisement, we have YouTube advertisement. These are the three core channels on Google Ad. Now, the policies that is lenient to you on Google search might be very brutal when it comes to when you break that same policy on Google Display Network and YouTube. For example, there's possibility that some of you are advertising health-related product, particularly sexual-related products. Now, if you are advertising this type of product, it is very, very sensitive, and Google don't take it easy when you advertise such product on YouTube and Display Network. So, if you are going to advertise this type of product, you need to understand what the policy is saying about it. If you are going to advertise it on such network, it might be very welcome. You might be able to advertise it on such network without having any problem. But when you start pushing such type of product to the Display Network, you might not get any warning before your account will be taken down by Google. So you have to get familiar with the different channels, what is allowed and what is not allowed. Another thing that can get you as account suspension are some products like a cryptocurrency currently in Nigeria is not acceptable. But it might not get you suspended immediately. You might first get your ads disapproved a couple times. But if you continue to break these policies, then you can get your account suspended. And then once your account is suspended, Google will start telling you that you are not allowed to create more accounts on their network. So there are so many things I think you people should get familiar with when it comes to the policy on Google Ad. Now, we will not be taking too much time to talk about the policies, and then probably AdPay should be able to share a link with you people so that you can get to know more about the policy that deals with everything when it comes to advertisement on Google Ad. So now we need to talk about tracking. conversion tracking. So it is when we talk about we cannot talk about the performance without talking about the tracking. So if you are not tracking, what are you going to mention as the performance of your advertisement? So even if the goal of your advertisement is a brand awareness, you still need to be able to account for the awareness you are generating from that particular advertisement. So the first major thing you need to do when you are advertising on Google, or before you launch your advertisement on Google, is to get your tracking in place. Now, the tracking since the iPhone, I think it's iPhone 4, iOS 14 whatsoever, since that time, there has been a lot of issues with tracking. And that is one of the reasons why Google has also been making every effort to encourage people to use first-party data. And the first-party data is basically the data that you have been able to capture yourself, and you have been able to ascertain that these are your customers or these are your clients. And then you give this data to Google for Google to use this data to optimize your campaign for you to get better result from your advertisement. Now, the first thing when you are setting up your advertisement or your account on Google Ads is, even before you launch the advert, you want to set up the tracking. So the major area you can get problem, you can have challenge when it comes to tracking is probably majority of us are using WordPress website. And when we are using WordPress website, if you are not tracking transactions on WordPress, which most of us, the kind of business we're doing in Nigeria, most of us, except we are selling a digital product, the kind of product, the e-commerce we do is mostly payment on delivery. And if you are doing payment on delivery, the way you are going to track it will not be the same as people that do e-commerce, whereby you make payment on the website and then the transaction is captured in your Google in your WordPress account, in your analytics, and in your Google Ads account. But when you are not doing that, you have to be able to track the success, or maybe form submission or whatsoever. You have to be able to track it. So that major challenge on WordPress, I've seen a lot of people having that challenge, tracking the leads. Because I count it as lead, because most of it's only when you deliver your order that you can now say you have getting an order. But whenever somebody submits a request for your product here, using the format of e-commerce we do in Nigeria, you capture lead. So you have not actually converted anyone. You have actually succeeded in capturing leads. So it is the delivery of that particular product that you can now record as a conversion, which is a actual order. So you don't want to make confusion with that. Now, to capture that lead, you need to track those leads. And now, when we are running advertisement on Google, we are not going to be recording sales. We are going to be recording the leads as a conversion. And that is what Google will be taking into consideration for them to be able to optimize your campaign for better performance. So on WooCommerce, on WordPress, pardon me for that. On WordPress, there is no easy configuration for you to be able to track leads. But there are some plugin that is available for you to be able to track successful transaction on WordPress. And if you are running on any e-commerce, if you are doing e-commerce on WordPress, it is most likely that you will be using this plugin, WooCommerce plugin. So if you are allowing people to make transaction, to make payment directly on the website, there are plugins that can help you to capture that and then record it on your Google Analytics, which you can then import back to your Google Ads account as conversion. But if you are tracking leads as we do in Nigeria, whereby you'll be tracking WP forms or whichever forms you are using to capture your lead as your order, then you need to be able to record the successful submission of that form and send that signal back to Google at, okay, this person submitted this form, and that can be recorded as a conversion, and that can be taken into consideration for the optimization of your account. Now, the basic strategy we use for this is to create a thank you page and then set up the landing page, and then redirect every successful submission of the form back to the thank you page. And when we notice that the redirection is now taking place, we can now install the conversion code we get from Google Ads in that thank you page, so that when you come to the landing page, let's say, for example, now let's use A, B, C in this scenario. Let's say your landing page is A, and that is when people click on your advert, they arrive on that page A. Now, you now have a form on that page A that people will fill to make a request for your product. When they fill the form and submit the form, it now reload a page, which is page B. So we want to tell Google that, okay, anybody that arrives on page B must have come from page A. And if that is the case, we want to record every person, every individual that arrive on page B as conversion. That way, we send that signal to Google. So in that situation, we want to install the event tracking code on that particular page B, so that Google can take that into consideration. But again, when you want to do that on WordPress website, you will realize that you will be having challenge when it comes to installing the code on the header tag of that particular page. And that is why a lot of people are having the challenges when it comes to tracking lead submission on WooCommerce, on WordPress. So in order for us to be able to avoid, to still be able to track and have enough for conversion recorded and send it back to Google Ads, we can now go ahead and track the button click, which is what I think Noah mentioned initially. But I don't know, maybe the method he has been using to track the button click, probably there's something wrong somewhere, or whatever could be the reason why he's not getting the conversion recorded consistently. So that is what we use, that is been the most effective way to track that lead submission and then send it back to Google Ads. And in order for us to be able to do that, we'll be needing to use a Google Tag Manager, which I am sure some of you will be aware of. But if you are not aware of that, I think in the next few minutes, we'll jump right into the demonstration, which I'll be using my screen to share with you. And then you'll be able to see the process of doing this, so that you'll be able to track the lead. And if you can track the lead, the only thing you have to do is to monitor the process and see the recording. If the recording is working fine, then Google will take that into consideration, and they'll be using that to optimize your advertisement. But if you now realize that you are getting some leads and then it's not being recorded in your Google Ads account, then something is definitely wrong somewhere, which you have to go back and diagnose it and be able to fix the problem. So that is the most effective way to track conversion, if what you are tracking as a conversion is leads for a form submission, which I believe majority of people in Nigeria are using for their e-commerce business. So let's now work on something right here. Let's do some screen sharing, so that we can do a couple of things together, and you'll be able to see the process. And I believe you'll be able to implement the same strategy to track your own ads account. So while I will be going to log into my account and then getting everything prepared, you people can unmute yourself and say something before I start sharing my screen.
So if you have any questions so far, from what maybe one person can ask a question, or better still, if there are lots of questions, you can just use the Q&A feature. Our speaker will get to look at it, and our team too is also looking at it. So you have multiple people here to answer all your questions. Thank you.
Okay, so I just log into my website. So I want to go straight to Google Tag Manager. How many of you are aware of Google Tag Manager? No one? Okay, Noah is aware of Google Tag Manager. So Google Tag Manager is basically let's say we call it a container, where we we basically use it to store every tag. And the major reason why the major usage of Google Tag Manager is to avoid overloading your own website with excessive tag. For example, if you have a website you want to start tracking, let's say you're advertising on X, formerly Twitter, on Google, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on some other platform, and you start adding code from each of the platform and start loading them on your website. All of these JavaScript can make your website to load very slow. So it will reduce the loading speed of your website. And instead of you adding all of this code onto your website, then this is where Google Tag Manager come into play. So Google Tag Manager will just give you one container code that you install on that website, and all other code you want to install on that website, you can now implement them through your Google Tag Manager, and you deploy those code from your Google Tag Manager. So that way, you only have one code, which is the Google Tag Manager container on your website, and all other code you are implementing on your website will be running through Google Tag Manager. So indirectly, you are loading the code on your website, but they are not on your website. They will not be affecting your website loading speed. So it's been very effective at helping you tracking to track whatever you want to track on the internet. So right, I will start with the screen sharing. Am I allowed to share the screen? I think I am. So let's share the entire. Is the entire? Try to see it. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can, sir.
Okay. So perfect. So I first of all, this is, let me go tag manager. To go to tag manager, you have to tagmanager.google.com. That's tagmanager.google.com. But before I do tag manager, let me quickly show you something right on one of my website admin area. So this is a WordPress website, and this is my academy website. And this website is I'm tracking transaction right on this website. So the transaction I'm tracking right on this website can be recorded in my Google Analytics and then it's imported back to my Google Ads account. So right from my Google Ads account, then that can be taken into consideration for optimizing my campaign. So in order for me to be able to record the conversions, I use a plugin right in my WordPress account. I just use a plugin, which is a WordPress WooCommerce Tag Manager. Let's go ahead and go to the plugin section and see the plugin here. So with this plugin, what I do is I will be able to install my Google Analytics Pixel Manager for WooCommerce. This is the plugin right here. Pixel Manager for WooCommerce. So with this plugin, I will be able to install Google Analytics 4 property right into the plugin. And this plugin will have the capacity to capture every transaction that occurred on my WooCommerce website and then send it back to my analytics dashboard. So when you link your Google Analytics to your Google Ads account, then you can import the conversion back to your Google Ads account for your account to use it for optimization. So right here, the only thing you have to do is once you have this plugin installed, which I think I just show you the name of the plugin, Pixel Manager for WooCommerce. That is if you are tracking conversion as in transaction on your website, then you install this plugin and you are using WooCommerce. You install the plugin, then you go ahead and install your Google Ads, Google Analytics code, or this is right now. You can say you can install Google Ads conversion tracking right here, conversion tracking, which is you get the conversion ID, you paste it here, but this will not track lead form submission. This is going to work for WooCommerce. So it's going to track purchases that occur on your WooCommerce website. So that is one thing you have to know with this. So you can copy your conversion ID from your Google Ads account and paste it here and save it, a conversion label, and paste it and save it. Or it's also used for Facebook. So once you save it, you'll be able to track your conversion. But this is Google Analytics. If you just see what I did now, by default, when you click on the setting for the plugin, it takes you to the marketing where you can track the Google Ads conversion or Facebook conversion. But if you move to the statistics tab, you'll be able to see the option for you to install your Google Analytics 4. So the only thing you need for you to install the Google Analytics 4 is your Google Analytics 4 property ID. So the property ID, once you copy it and paste it right here and activate it, to activate it, you just have to save it. Once you paste the ID, you save it, then it becomes active. From that moment, any transaction that occurred on your WooCommerce website will be recorded in your Google Analytics account, and then you can link that Google Analytics account to your Google Ads account and import the conversion back to Google Ads. So that way, you won't have any problem with conversion tracking when it comes to transaction on your WordPress website using WooCommerce. So that is what I do for this particular account to track conversions that come, and then I import them back to Google Ads. But in a situation now where you want to track form submission, you can't do that with this option. That is where we have to use a Google Tag Manager. So, right, when you create a Google Tag Manager account, the first thing is I have multiple accounts right here. So if I click on create account, the first thing is I will have to enter the name for that account. The name, maybe I want to create it, maybe AdPay, maybe Mercury. I put the name right here. So I can say just where Academy demo. So when I put that, I can go ahead and select the country, Nigeria. Then you don't need to share your data anonymously. I don't see any reason for doing that. So from one account, you can create multiple container. So I can go ahead and enter the container here, maybe ODS naturals. Then you choose what platform you want to track. So by default, you can go with website, because most of the time we are likely dealing with website, except when you want to track your app or your server or your accelerated mobile page, which is AMP. So I select the web, then I create a container. So this container, now this is just the policy stuff where you can go ahead and accept it, or you can go ahead and read it before accepting. So I just click on yes right now. I've been through this one multiple times, so I don't have to read anything there. So immediately you create the account. This is the container ID. This container ID, you will be able to copy it and install it on your website. Now, initially I mentioned that the problem you might face is that you will not be able to install the code on the health section of the page. So there's something I want to clarify right now. The health section of the page we want to track is different from the health section or the body section on the head tag or body tag of the website. The website is as a whole, let's say the house. The page you want to track is like a room in the house. Now, this code, you can install it on the head tag of the website. But when it comes to installing this on the head tag of some page, you might find it very difficult. Even with some plugins that are available that promise to do that, you will realize that you will still find it difficult to install this tag in the head section or head tag of a specific page on your WordPress website. So which will make it difficult for you to be able to try conversion. But if it is to install it on the website itself, it is possible. And I have a plugin I use for that as well. If you go to the plugin section on your WooCommerce website, on your WordPress website, and type header footer tag, maybe you type header and footer. Let's add new plugin. You type header and footer. You will see some plugins available. So inside this plugin will make it easy for you to install the code in the header or the footer of your website, but not a specific page. I think the the premium version of the plugin might allow specific page, but I've tried a couple of them. They are not very effective at doing that. So now this container says we should install the code. Paste the code as hide in the health tag of that particular website or the page you want to track, but it's going to be on the website because it will be able to track everywhere on the website. So right now, I have this particular code, this particular plugin installed on my website. WP code, insert header and footer is active on my website. So right here, this is the plugin right here. I click on it. So you can install that plugin. Once you install the plugin, I have a couple of code installed right here. This is Microsoft Clarity Fix, PPZ, and Google Ads Global Site Tag. So you can just go ahead and click on New Snippet, add a new. When you click on Add New, then you go with the Use Your Custom Code. Select this. So once you select this, then you can now go ahead and copy this code. This one goes to the header. Then you copy it right here. You go to the head. This is the code preview. You copy the code, you paste it here. You will activate it in the head. Where is it going to be activated? Look at it here. The location of the code is going to be site-wide header. You see right here, it's going to be site-wide header. So you can install the code right there and click on save. So once you click on save, this code will be active on the website. Then the second one is going to be on body. You do the same process. You copy, you create the new tag, and you install it on the body. You can see this is option for the site-wide body. You can see site-wide body. So once you install the container tag, which is the head and the body, once you finish installing it, now this the Google Tag Manager will now be active on the website. I'm not going to be installing it on my website because I already have tracking effective on the website. So once you install it and it's active, the next thing you will now do is you can now start installing your other tag, your Google Analytics tag. If you want to install it from the Google Tag Manager, you can install it through that Google Tag Manager property. And then you can install your Google Ads conversion tracking through the Google Tag Manager account. So, right, I'm not going to be installing this, but I will switch back to one of the proper container I already have. I will switch back to that to use that for the subsequent demonstration on how we can be able to track buttons on our website. So right now, I did not install the tag. I did not install it, so I'm going to go back. I'll leave this. But once you install that, that is not the end. You have to go ahead and publish the tag on the website. So, if I copy the tag and install it on the website and save it, it does not automatically mean that the tag is active on the website. So you need to go ahead and submit it right here. I don't know if you guys are seeing my screen everywhere I'm clicking on. So if you are seeing it, that is fine. But if you are not seeing it, you can indicate in the chat section so that we know how to address that. Now, when you install the tag and you publish it, right here, the blue section here is telling you the numbers of editing you have made in your Google Tag Manager account. And the green section is telling you the numbers of times you have published a tag on your website. So right now, everything is 0. This is a new container. So I have not published anything. Now, if I go ahead and click on submit right now, and right here, I don't need to do anything. And I click on publish. So I will be able to publish the container, which is the tag I assume that I installed on the website. I will be able to publish it on the website. So, but now I did not publish any tag. It's just this variable by default that is showing. I publish it, but there's nothing on the website. So there's nothing on the website. I did not install it. I only demonstrated. So you can see, published a few seconds ago by this. So That is just the demonstration on how you can install your Google Tag Manager container on the website. So when you are done installing the Google Tag Manager container on the website, then we can now jump to the next step for us to be able to track the conversion we want to track on our Google Ads account. So let's stop the sharing for now and let's quickly do interaction and see if there's any questions so far. So hello guys. Are we still together? You guys can unmute and quickly let's interact and know if we are still together, and then if you have some questions, let's know.
Yeah, I think this is a good time for you to, ask questions if you have any. If you're
Or we move to the
confused
next.
with any part of the session, this would be a good time to speak. All right. I think we have Honjek Tech Limited and Melek Academy. I think Melek raised his hands first, so please, Melek, go ahead with your question. Oh, can we unmute everyone? Just 1 second. Let me check. All right. So I've unmuted everyone. So Melek, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Although I've not been seeing the screen, but I'm just listening to it and watching the caption that I on so that I can be seeing what is happening. But my challenge, I've been running some ad. I just want to give an experience of what I've had from my little experience for the ad I ran 2 weeks now. I've not been able to get this tracking for Google My Business because it's Google My Business that I usually use for the advert. So I would want to know how can I, do the tracking and phone call tracking for Google My Business apart from website. Thank you.
Google My Business tracking. By default, you don't need to implement any tracking on Google My Business because your business is hosted on Google. You have a very limited control on what you can do with Google My Business page. Google handles everything. So if your phone number, by default, if you go ahead and look at your data, your data for the Google My Business page, in the last 30 days, you will see the numbers of times your website, your page appeared on Google, the numbers of time people attempt to send a message to you, and the numbers of time people actually click on your phone number to call. It will be recorded on your Google My Business page. So you can always log into your Google My Business page to review the data. And also, if you are running a smart business local business ad on Google, you will be able to see the numbers of calls coming from your advert, except you disable it from your account. By default, it is enabled. I think I will be able to show you that if you are looking at your screen. I will show you how you'll be able to see that. And if you want to disable that option, I will show you when we get to that section in the next few minutes. So that is about that. You don't need to implement any tracking for you to be able to see the numbers of calls coming from your Google My Business page. I hope that clarifies the
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So any other question?
Up next, I have Honjek Tech Limited.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. My questions is based on the Google tag.
Yeah.
The tag manager. Sorry. The
Yeah.
tag manager. Okay. I think someone was assisting me to run ad for my business, and he created a tag with my email. So, and I installed that tag. So one thing or the other, Google blocked that account, and another account was created.
The as account, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I noticed that the ad account has been blocked, so I have to delete the tag manager from my website. So when we created another account again, so we started using it. Then when I disengaged the agent that was running for me, so I told them, can it be possible he remove himself from the this thing, so I let me just manage this thing. But since it was, yeah, since it was their card that was on it, they said, okay, the best thing is to delete that Google account completely. Then I can create account if I want to be running it myself, because I said I want to be doing it myself. So, but then the last tag that was created for this one we deleted is still on my website. So I want to really know this tag manager, is it unique to a particular account, or once you install it, it can serve for any if you create a new account?
Yeah, Google Tag Manager is actually independent of Google Ads. You can use Google Tag Manager even when you are not running advertisement on Google. The function of Google Tag Manager is for tracking. So even if you have an account that is suspended, it does not affect your Google Tag Manager. The only thing you can go ahead and do is on your Google Tag Man. I will open one of my accounts now. One of my Google Tag Manager accounts. I will open it and then you see what I have. On this account, I have a couple of page active. So on the account, you can have multiple tag active. When your Google Ads account is suspended, and you notice you track that account with a Google Tag Manager, you just go back to your Google Tag Manager and delete that tag, not the Google Tag Manager account.
Okay, so it should be deleted from the Google account.
You delete the tag. Once you delete the tag from your Google Tag Manager account, it's going to be deleted on the website, which means the tag will not be found on your website, and Google will not be able to associate that tag with your website. So, like for example, this is one of my Google Tag Manager page. This is one of the Google Tag Manager I have. And right now, I have these 3 tags active: conversion linker, Google Ads, Google Analytics up page, and then purchases. This has been implemented 5 years ago, 6 years and 5 years ago. Now, let's say this particular tag I selected now, let's say is a conversion tracking for my Google Ads account. And that Google Ads account is suspended. The only thing I can do is I can go ahead and delete this tag. And immediately I select it right now, you can see from the top right here, I have the option to delete it. Once I delete it and click on submit, what I just did is I have removed the tag from the website, and it will not be sending any signal back to Google because the tag is no longer available on the site. So I do not need to delete my Google Tag Manager account. I just need to delete the tag itself. I hope that answers your question.
Not that clear yet. I want to okay, like in that case, because I didn't have access to this dashboard, because I think the agent that was running it created this.
Let me tell you, anybody that creates an account for you, except on a group, if I work with anybody, if I'm creating an account, I let everything clear. I let the person understand what is going to be involved. Now, when I create an account, ideally, I actually give you the go ahead to create the account and add me as an admin to the account so that I can have access to do whatever I want to do. But if I create the account, I have the option to add you as the owner of the account. This is where I just click on the right here from here. I was on this workspace. If you are looking at the left-hand side of my dashboard right now, I have workspace, I have versions, and I have admin. By the time I click on the admin, right under the admin, I have users management. Under this users management is where I can add people. This is the active person right on this account, and I have access. I'm the one right, but I can add other people, add users or users group. I can add other people and grant the person any of the permission I want to grant the person. If I grant the person the permission to publish, it automatically means I've given the person permissions to manage the account, to do whatever they want to do, and that is admin permission for the account. And this is the permission whoever is creating a Google Tag Manager for your business, this is the permission the person is supposed to give to you, so that when they are no longer working with you, they can remove themselves while you take over the management or give permission to whoever you want to give it to at any particular time. So that is how it works.
Okay. So in this case, the clearer this thing now is that the tag the codes I have implemented in my website can be deleted, so that I can create a dashboard, a Google tag dashboard like this for
You can create
myself.
another
And
tag.
yes, and put the code and install the code on my website.
Yes, you can create another tag and install it on your website. Let's say, for example, this account you are seeing right now, or just Web Academy page, this account you are seeing right here. Let's say I created Google Ads account and I installed a tag through this account. And maybe along the way, that Google Ads account is suspended. I do not have to delete this account, this Google Just Web Academy page. I do not have to delete it. I just have to go ahead and delete the tag, which is what I showed you previously. I just go ahead and delete the tag. When I delete the tag, then I can go ahead and create a new tag for a new account that I just created.
And install again on the website.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is about that. So I think we be jumping to the next session now. So the next session now is we want to go to the Google Ads account. So I have my Google Ads account right here. I have this account right here, and I want to use this account for the demonstration. So let's say this account is your Google Ads account, and you want to start tracking, and you have installed your Google Tag Manager container on your website. Now you want to install your conversion tracking. You want to track the website. So let's say, okay, let me look at one of the active pages right here and see if anyone that has a form that I can track. Let's look at justweb.com. So I want to now install my tag on the website, which is Google Ad tag. So in order for me to install the tag, I will first of all go to my Google Ads account. I will go to the goals. From the goals right here, I will be able to install, I'll be able to create the conversion tracking code right here. So when I click on plus conversion action, then it brings up the option to choose from. I have 4 options right here: the website tracking, apps, phone calls, and import. So this import option is where you can import conversion from third-party website or from your Google Analytics property. So if I click on the website, now you can see I can track sales, I can track link clicks, page view, and sign up. So if I click on it now, it takes me to the next step. So Google says you enter a website. Google wants to scan if they will detect any code already installed on your website. So if I enter justweb.com and scan, if Google find the code on the website, they can tell me that they find the code, then I can proceed to creating the event I want to track. But this might not be very active, might not be very good for what I want to track. If I want to track a specific page, might not be very good. So what does Google say? Create conversion action manually. So the next thing I want to do now is I click on add a conversion action manually. Now that I click on that, I can now give my conversion action a category. If you are tracking people who filled a form and submit it, that is a lead form submission or whatever. Maybe you call it contact form, but it's basically submit lead form. So when you selected that, conversion action optimization, leave it default for the primary action. Then you give it a name. So in case you will be creating multiple conversion action in your Google Ads account, it's better to give it a name that you will easily remember when you start having a lot of conversion on your account. So I can just say AdPay demo. So I'll remember this. Then the next step is value. So this value is where you want to specify what each of the conversion. Somebody is making noise, please. 100 tech, please. So this value right here is the value you want to attribute to every conversion that occur. If you are tracking people who filled a form, people who do e-commerce in Nigeria, we understand that maybe 10 people might submit a form that we want you to deliver product, and only 6 people might actually pick the delivery. So in that action, in that situation, you don't want to give a too much accurate value for all of the people that submit, because you know that not all of them will be delivered. And the value you are entering here will actually have impact in the optimization of your account. So I can say, since this is going to be recorded as a lead, I can now say each lead is worth maybe 100 naira to me. Since this account is 100 naira, I can say 100 naira. If it's in dollar, I can say maybe it's just worth maybe 10 naira, $10 or $5. So I can use a different value, but for leads, it's better to use the same value. This different value is mostly good for people that track transactions on their website. And when you track transaction on your website, you don't even need to go through this process. Just use the simplest process. Use the Google Analytics method I explained initially, and import your conversion back to your Google Ads account. That way you will get accurate tracking for your transaction on your website. But for the leads form submission, use the same value for people that submit the lead, and I can put it 100 naira, which means that if 100 people submit the lead form, the value for each of them is the same thing, 100 naira. So now that I put that, I go to the next step. By default, Google will select to count every conversion. But if you are tracking leads, don't count every conversion, because it is possible for somebody to go ahead and fill your lead form more than one time. So it will be giving wrong signal to Google that you are getting more conversion, whereas you are not getting. But if you are tracking sales, people that come to your website to buy, it is possible for somebody to, people that come that actually make payment on your website. It is possible for somebody to come to a website and add a shoe to the cart, add a singlet to the cart, add a face cap, add a spectacle, and add multiple items to the cart and pay for it. So that way, you can track every conversion action. But for leads, you track one for each person. So once you track one for each person, you get more accurate for lead tracking. So once you select that, the next thing you want to do now is just go ahead and click on done. Don't worry about this other configuration right here. Let Google detect this the way it is. Then you click on done. So once you click on done, the settings for that conversion is just done. Then you click on save and continue. So when you click on save and continue, then you now have this option. We have the setup with Google Tag, email instruction to your webmaster, or use Google Tag Manager. But in some situations, you might not see use Google Tag Manager. And if you don't see use Google Tag Manager, it shows that the steps you have selected from the beginning, something has gone wrong somewhere. That is why you are not seeing Google Tag Manager option. So if you are seeing it, it means that you are still on the right path to using a Google Tag Manager to track your action. So now, if you can't do it, and you are the one creating you're managing your ad account, you might just send the instruction to your webmaster, the person in charge of your website, to help you to install it. The instruction will be there for the person. But if you are the one in charge of your website, then you go ahead and install it by yourself. So with the tag manager, I just go ahead and select tag manager right here. And this is the only thing I will be needing for me to install the conversion action. The conversion ID and the conversion label. So before now, instead of writing the name of the conversion, which I entered when I was creating it, it will write
Hello,
conversion.
sir. Hello, sir.
Hello?
Please. I can't see what you are trying to display. Like it's just blank over here. I don't know if
Is
it's
it the same thing
from.
with everybody?
Okay, now I can see it.
You can see.
No, I
Is
guess
it?
it's his network. No, it's not the same thing. It's
Oh,
I
showing
think it's a
clearly here.
network issue.
Yeah, I
okay.
guess it's a network. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think it's
this AdPay demo when you get to your Google Tag Manager, you might be seeing that enter your conversion label. So where it gives this AdPay demo, which is the name I enter, that is the conversion label you are going to use, which is this value right here, the one I just highlighted. That is the one you are going to use in place of your conversion label in your Google Tag Manager. So right here is the particular ID for this particular conversion I just created. So with these two information now, I can now go straight to my Google Tag Manager and demonstrate the next process. Now, I will go straight to the tag. From here, I will go to the tag and I will click on new tag right here. So I actually have some action tracked in this account, because most of the time I do a lot of demonstrations. So I have them right. So I click on new tag. In your own case, you will not have any tag. If you have not been using Google Tag Manager, it will be blank when you get to the tag. So I use new tag. Then the first thing, you enter the name for the tag you want to create for this Google Tag Manager account. I can now say Google Ads, Ads Leads, AdPay demo. This will help me identify that particular conversion I'm tracking, because when I have multiple tags in my account, I might not be able to remember any of them, maybe after some months or some years. So give it a very good name so that you can remember in case you're tracking a lot of things. So I've entered the name. The next thing is tag configuration. I will select it right, and then I have the options right here: Google Analytics, Google Ads, and so on. So we want to track Google Ads. So I click on Google Ads. So it's going to request for the tag now. So tag ID is what I will now put here. A moment. Google Ad. This is what I selected Google Tag instead of Google Ads conversion tracking. I hope you remember, you noticed that. So we are going to select Google Ads conversion tracking instead of the previous one I selected, which is when I click on Google Ad, I selected Google Tag initially, but that is the wrong one. The one you want to select is Google Ads conversion tracking. So now that I selected that, we need to go ahead and copy the conversion ID. This is the conversion ID. I copy this, I come back here, I paste it. Then the next one is conversion label. Conversion label, which is this one right here. I copy this, I come back here, I paste the label. So once I paste the label, then I can go ahead and save it. But before saving it, don't worry about the other fields there. Leave the other field. They are not necessary. Now look at this place, trigger. The tag itself will not fire except something triggers the tag to fire. Now the trigger is what you want to define. So if I now click on trigger now I have pages. When you install your Google Tag Manager container on your website, as long as you install it on either on the footer, on the body and the head of the entire website, that means the tag will be functional on all the pages on the website. Now that you want to track your particular page, initially I mentioned that, let's say ojasweb.com/, let's do this demonstration. I am currently logging into my website. I'm opening my website. So I want you to see the process so that you understand exactly what I'm trying to explain. I think my network or my website is taking too long to load. Okay. Let's say it's loading. Okay, the page is loaded now. Let's say I enter this email address, this, and then let's say AdPay demo tracking, and I just say 6 + 5, that is 11. I submit it. Immediately I submit this, I want to see if it's going to redirect. It doesn't redirect. Okay, it redirects me to the thank you page. Now, it takes me from the home page down to this thank you page. And then what I want to do now is I want to track this thank you page, which confirms that somebody actually submitted a form before they come here. That is what I'm trying to say. So now on this page, where I have to choose a trigger, something that will trigger the conversion to be fired, that is what it means. I will now select a specific page instead of all the pages on my website. And the specific page I will select now is going to be the page that confirms that somebody has actually submitted a form or whatever I want them to do. And in this case, is a form that submits your order form. So that is why you must redirect your order form back to a page that you can now implement the tracking. So right now, I don't have the page right here, and then I can save this one first. No trigger, no worry. I can save it. Right now, I have saved it. This is it right here. I saved the tag, but I have not added the trigger. The tag will not work yet. So I can now go back to the triggers. Then I can now create a trigger right here. So now I want to create a trigger. I can say AdPay conversion or demo. Thank you page. So I can now choose the trigger configuration. Now I have a lot of options right here. So this is where you can actually use any of the triggers right here to track. So now I will choose page view. So when I click on page view, I now have these two options. Is it all the pages on the website I want to track as a trigger? I want to use as a trigger, or is some specific page? I will click on some specific page. Now that I click on some specific page, I have the click classes right here, but that is not what we want to use. We want to use URL. We want to use page URL. Page URL contains thank you. I hope you people are getting the logic. So I want to use page URL contains this particular string, the text that you are seeing right here. So that is the only trigger that I want to use for that particular conversion, the tag I created. So now that I specify this, there are multiple options right here. If we want to click, if we want to track a button click, maybe somebody, you have a button on your website, and maybe when somebody click on the button, you want it to trigger your conversion action to be fired. You can now go ahead and look at those buttons and look at the click text. You can look at the click text, you can look at the element, you can look at the classes, and so there are a lot of variables you can use. But this particular one, we are using the page URL, which means the page the person see. Immediately the person submitted the form, the person sees the thank you page. So the page that the person see, we want to use the URL, we want to use it to fire our conversion. So now that I specified that the page URL contains thank you, so I'll click on save. So now that I click on save, I can go back to my tag right now. And then from the tag, this is the tag I created. I will select it. Then I will go back to the trigger. Then I will select the trigger I just created, which is the AdPay demo thank you. So when I select it, so what I just said is that this Google ad conversion tracking with this ID and label should be fired when this condition is met, when somebody go ahead to view this particular page. So I will now save it. So immediately I click on save it, I can then go ahead and publish it right here. But I'm not going to publish this one because I'm not even sure I have this this account link. I don't want to mess up some of the configuration I have for the account. So, but when you complete the settings like that, then you go ahead and click on submit. So once you submit it, the tag you have just created and the trigger now will now be published on that website, and it will start recording the conversion in your Google Ads account when somebody fills the form and submit it. Does it make sense? Hello. So that
Yes,
is
it
how
does. Thank you.
that is how we can go ahead and configure our conversion tracking with Google Tag Manager for people who track form submission as a maybe successful order or whatsoever. That is how you can go ahead and use Google Tag Manager to track your conversion. If you want to use if you want to track button click, when I say button click, maybe you have a right on my website, maybe you have this is a button. This button right now has the text is send now. If I want to track anybody that click on this button, or let's say this one, request a trial. If I want to track anybody that click on this, I can use it when I was in the trigger right here. When I was creating the trigger, let's look at the trigger once again. So when I was creating this oh no, I've gone too far. This trigger, let's edit it right here. So I use page URL. So I can use click test contain request a trial. So it means that the tag will be fired only when the text that the person clicks on or contains this particular text, request a trial. That is how we can use that option right here, click test, to track a button. And right here, this is a button. This is a button. So if I use that click test contains request a trial, what I'm saying is that this trigger should fire that particular tag whenever the condition is met. And what is the condition? Click test contains request a trial. So this is why with Google Tag Manager, we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to tracking our website. You can use click classes, click element, all of this you can use inspect element on your website to see the click class and so on, and a lot of things that you can use to track your website. So that is how we can use a Google Tag Manager for the tracking. And once you have done this, you should be able to start seeing your conversion being recorded on your Google Ads account. And you can actually go ahead and test it using another device, or maybe just use another device to see your advert and click on it and go ahead and follow the process and see if it's working. But even if you don't want to click on your advert directly to record on your Google Ads, Google Tag Manager allow you to use the preview mode to go ahead and debug, to test that particular configuration you have just done. So once you test it, because I did not submit this, I will not see anything. But once you test it, you will be able to see whether the tag is fired or not. So that way you'll be able to know if everything is working and or not. So that is about that. So don't let us waste too much time on this. We have to talk about Google Ads campaign itself, the performance, and how you can get the best result from your Google Ads. So I was actually trying to show you guys something I've forgotten. I've actually stop sharing my screen. So let's now talk about
hello, sir.
Hello, I'm with you.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, while you set up your screen share, we have some questions in the Q&A feature. I don't know if you can navigate your way there and just check them out.
I can't hear you clearly, please.
There are some questions in the Q&A app on the call. I don't know if you know how to navigate your way there to check them out.
App on.
Okay, you know what? So I'll try to read the questions. Okay, so this is from Grace Amarachi. Okay. How do I change my videos when it's not giving me conversion?
Your videos?
Yeah.
when it's not giving conversion.
Yeah. Then same person asked, please help me. How many videos can I use to run one campaign?
Okay, so the first one is you can change your videos when it's not giving you conversion from the ad configuration. But instead of changing the video for that particular ad, you can create another ad group and use another video for the advert. So I will be going to my Google Ads account right now, and then I should be able to quickly show you something right here. Okay, I want to use one of my accounts. I think I have a couple of accounts right here. I will use this account. Okay, so this account, I have campaigns. I have 2 YouTube campaigns right here. So let's say this particular campaign, I have 3 ad groups under this campaign. I will be answering both questions together. On your Google Ads account, you have access to, I think, about 10,000 campaign in one Google Ads account. You can create up to 10,000 campaign. In one campaign, you can create up to 10,000 ad group in one campaign. Just like, okay, let's start from the beginning again. This is the campaign section. I'm in the campaign section.
Sorry, you're no longer sharing your screen.
Oh, how am I doing this? I apologize for that. Apologize for that. Okay, are you guys seeing the screen now? Are you guys seeing the screen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so right, this is my Google Ads account. This is one of my Google Ads account because I have a lot of them. So right, from this side, the left menu, I click on campaign, right? I'm on the campaign section, right? And we have 3 campaigns now. I just selected it, 3 campaigns. 2 of them are YouTube campaign. 1 is a Google search campaign. Now, on your Google Ads account, you can create up to 10,000 campaign. 10,000 campaign. And under each campaign, like we have 3 campaign right here now, 3. Now, let's say I click on one of the campaign, this number 1. I have 1 ad group, but let me select the second campaign, this one. I have 3 ad groups. You see, I have 3 ad group right here. I can create up to 10,000 ad group under one campaign. And I can also create up to 10,000 ads under one ad group, which means that under these 3 ad group, 1, 2, 3, I can create 30,000 adverts for that 3 ad group. So you cannot even exhaust the limit you have when it comes to your campaign, your ad group, and the ad creation. So that should not bother you at all. Now, back to the other question, that if you want to change your video, let's say I have this 3 ad group right now, and all of them, they are YouTube advertisement. Let's say this one has a 67 conversion right here. This one has 29 conversion. This one has a 1 conversion. Now, let's say the one that has 1 conversion, I want to change the video. What I just click on the ad group, then it takes me directly to the advert. Then I will put my mouse toward this pen icon. I don't know if you can see my screen, if you can see what I am doing. So I move my mouse toward this ad. This is the ad. I'm trying to move my mouse fast enough so that you can see where I am. So there's a pen icon right here. So I move my mouse toward the pen icon. I click on it. Then it shows edit and preview. If you can see that, please, you can just say I can, so that I know that you guys are with me. So now I will click on edit. So when I click on edit right now, the next thing I will do is, this is the video I'm using to advertise. This is the video I'm using for the advert for this particular one. You see, I click on it, it takes me to YouTube. So this video. Hey, sorry for that. So now this is the video. So I can go ahead now and just click on this cancel icon. Immediately I do that, I will now have the option to paste the URL of the new video I want to use for the advert. So if I want to use another video for that particular ad group, I will just paste the URL of that other video right here. And the text I already have for the previous advert will still remain there. So the text you were using for the advert will not be deleted. Let's just leave this one. This video, where's the advert right now? This is the advert. The text will still remain there. This text and the URL we have will still remain there. So I can just go ahead to copy. Let's demonstrate this one live so that you see what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and look at my channel so that I can see some of the video right here. So let me just use this. So I can just copy this. Where are we? Now I can just cancel this, remove it, then I paste the URL. Immediately I do that, you can see the text remain the same. Are we together?
Yes.
So the text will not be deleted. If what you want to do is just to change the video for that particular ad, you just go ahead and cancel it right here. Then you paste the URL of the new video as I just did. Then the video will come up and then you can use it for your advertisement. Then you go ahead and save it. But I'm not going to save this one because that is just for demonstration purpose. So does it make any sense? Does it answer your question? Is it Amarachi? That answers your question. So now let's go ahead and talk about Google Ads campaigns a little bit, and then they answer one of the questions we got initially, which is reduce cost per conversion. So let's go to Google Ads and work on that now. So right, are we together?
Yes. I still have some more questions here.
Okay, kindly.
Yeah, so it says this is Olakunle Romiluyi. I'm a graphic designer.
Okay.
Is it essential I add conversion tag to my website? I use Framer to build my website, not WordPress. Also, I'm really new to conversion tags, so I want to know the benefit of adding it to my website.
If you are doing marketing, the marketing relies on data. The success of every marketing is the data. The data is what will help you to get the desired result. If you are advertising your business, you want to be getting result. In order for you, it's just like a direction. If you don't have a direction, then you end up going nowhere. You miss the road. So the data is what want to give you the direction on where to optimize. Okay, look at this campaign. Look at this campaign I opened up. I have 3 ad group right here. And the first one has 29 conversions. The second one has 1 conversion. The third one has 67 conversion. If I discover that the cost per conversion is 10,000 naira, the only way I can know which of the advert that is actually eating up my money is with the conversion tracking. Now, from what I have here, which of the campaign or which of the ad will you suspect to be the waste? You will likely suspect the second one, the middle one, which the one that has just 1 conversion, to be the waste. The reason why you can suspect it is because you have the conversion tracking. It's recording the conversion for that particular campaign. That way, you're having direction to, okay, I have 3 ad group right here, and then the only one that is having 286 naira per conversion is this one. It is one wasting my money. Then I can go ahead and shut it down. The only way I can do that is because I have the conversion tracking in place. If I don't have conversion tracking in place, I will only be praying to God, Oluwajo, let there be conversion in Jesus' name, amen. So, do you get that?
Yeah, I believe. And the good thing is, this call is being recorded, and we'll upload it to our YouTube channel, and we'll share with everyone. So you can always catch up with, various segments of this call. I just want us to run through all the other questions. So this is Tinedo Okonkwo. I registered on AdPay. I tried to run a YouTube ad. It was approved, but it didn't convert. At the expiration of the first one, I created another ad. Before it could be approved, my account was suspended. I applied and the suspension was lifted, but my ads are yet to run up until now. How can I solve this? I don't know if this is something you want to answer.
I think we should be we now be looking at that when we start talking about the section we are actually running into now is the one for the campaigns, and then giving tips and addressing issue with high CPA, low conversions, and so on and so forth. So right now, back to my Google Ads account. If you let's say you have to understand this. Google does not actually work for just one goal. In marketing, we have different goals. Why you and me, why we are having the desire to drive conversion immediately? Some people want to use Google for people to just see their business. Let them just see the advert. Let them just see it. Whether they click on it or not, let them see it, which is for brand awareness. So there are multiple goals. And this is one of the things you have to understand before you create your campaign on Google Ads. The goal of your advertisement will determine the exact campaign you are going to use. The goal of your advertisement will determine the exact campaign you are going to use. Now, right on my account on the campaign section right here, if I click on this plus button, I have new campaign. So I just want to use this one. I'm not going to create campaign fully. I just want to use this one as to explain. We have the first most important thing right here that Google will want you to do is to choose the objective for your campaign. For almost all of us, we either choose sales or leads. That is what likely most of us will choose. Only some few will choose a website traffic. Now, when you choose the objective, Google is assuming that you have the data that they will use it to optimize your campaign, and also they will refine your campaign for that particular objective you have chosen for the campaign. You have chosen sales, they will remove everything that has to do with maybe brand awareness, maybe just reach and so on. They will refine the available option for you to help you get sales. Now, for leads, they will refine it, and also the available targeting that we have access to, they will refine it. And that is not all. The type of campaign you will have access to use, it will also be refined. For example, if I click on sales, the next thing is I have the campaign. I have first is telling me to choose the conversion action right here. I can leave that and click on continue. Then I see the campaign. I have this campaign right here, this 6 campaign, when my objective is sales. But if I go back and choose create a campaign without objective, I have access to 8 campaigns right here. So the objective you choose will determine the campaign you select. But again, you need to understand that what Google see as a successful campaign might be different from what you see as a successful campaign. And this is what you also need to understand. When you are advertising on Google, one of the things that can affect your ad delivery and the CPA is your targeting. The more stricter your targeting, the more expensive the auction will be. The auction is your advert is not alone in the pool. There are so many advertisements in the pool. Just the way you are launching your advert to Google Ad, millions or thousands of other advertisers are also launching their adverts. Now, if you now say your goal is to drive sales, thousands of other people might also be looking at that particular goal. And now, if thousands are looking at that particular goal, and you now say, okay, the sales you want to drive is in Lagos and is for women above 45 years, you have been putting constraints on the targeting. And when you are putting constraints, Google is actually looking at it. Google is not looking at it that you are putting constraints. Google is looking at it as you are targeting high valued people. And to reach high value people, high relevance audience, you will be competing with higher people, some other advertisers that are dragging that limited numbers of audience, and that will increase the cost per click and eventually the CPA for your advertisement. Except when you already have sufficient data, huge data, that has been able to signal to Google that your cost per conversion is within this average, and Google can now optimize for it. And even when you have that huge data, huge conversion data, it is best for you not to use much audience targeting and allow Google to do the work with your data so that they can get you more conversion at a reasonably low cost per conversion. So one of the most important things you need to know that will affect your cost per conversion is your targeting. Your targeting will make it either easy or difficult for Google to optimize your campaign to get more. Let's use another realistic example. You know, I think Lagos population at the moment is about 20-something million. Now, let's say out of that 20-something million, let's say the men is the males are maybe about 12 million. Let's say the males they are about 12 million. And then out of that 12 million males, let's say about maybe 6 million of them, they are, or let's say about 4 million of them are people above 40 years. And now, that people above 40 years, let's say now about 1 million of them have interest in football, and maybe just 300,000 of them have interest in Chelsea. Now, if you now decide to start targeting your advert to people that love Chelsea, you realize that you have out of the 12 million males in Lagos, you have limit the numbers of eligible audience to just 300,000. And now, the competition in that particular space will make your advert more expensive. And if it is more expensive, your ad creative will now be the one that will do the majority of the work and your landing page. So you will have to now do a lot of work with your ad creative and your landing page for you to be able to convert sufficient people at a reasonably low cost per action. Does that really make sense to you people at all? Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
So that is one of the major things with your cost per conversion. It affects your targeting, affects your cost per conversion a lot. And the same thing, when you see people saying they want to scale the advertisement, I have a video about that, and the video actually demonstrated everything for you to see. When you want to scale your advertisement, what you are doing is in a funnel. Marketing, we use a funnel for marketing. We have people at the very top of the funnel who are very cold audience, and this will be applicable to your Google advert. Don't worry, I'm not using Google advert. I'm not explaining with a campaign, but you will use it. You'll be able to apply with your Google ads, and then you'll be able to get a very impressive result. Now, on the top of the marketing, this is where the cold audience are, and this is where we have. If you are conducting research and you say 550 million Nigerians are using Google, YouTube, all this, then that is the 50 million. They are the ones at the top of the funnel, at the very top of the funnel. The people who already know about either their problem or your business, they are the one somewhere inside, as close to the bottom of the funnel. Now, when you are getting the best result from your advertisement, you cannot get the best result from your advertisement. When I'm saying the best result, sales, you cannot get the best sales from the cold audience. Cold audience, they either don't know about their own problem, or they don't know about your business and what the business is all about, or what your product is all about. So they cannot be the best customer. So when you are getting the best result, you are getting the best result from the warm audience, from people at the bottom of the funnel. Now, by the time you want to scale, it means that probably you have been reaching some constraints from the conversion you are getting from that audience that are in the warm stage at the bottom of the funnel. When you want to scale, what it means is that at that stage that you are advertising that you are getting a lot of sales, and maybe you are getting 50 conversions, now it means that probably you are trying to increase your conversion to maybe 70, but it's not working. Now you want to scale, you want to get 700 and so on conversion. When you want to get 70, 80, 90, 100 conversion, you cannot get from where they are not sufficient on the audience. It means that in order for you to get more, you need to expand your reach. And in order for you to expand your reach, you need to come from the bottom of the funnel down up the funnel a little bit where there are more audience. And when you are coming up, you are scaling to reach more people. And as you are scaling, you are reaching more cold people who are now, I'm interested, but the price is there and they're asking you how much. They are cold people that they don't have the problem, they don't know what they are doing. So you are now reaching more people who are more cold. As you are reaching more people who are more cold, you will eventually realize that your cost per conversion will be increasing as you are scaling. When you are scaling, normally you will be thinking, as you are scaling, you should be getting more sales at a lower cost per conversion, but no, you'll be getting more sales at a higher cost per conversion, but the equation is actually balanced with the volume. So when you were targeting your advert to people at the very bottom of the funnel, using your audience, maybe you target using the Chelsea analogy that I just did, targeting people at the very bottom of the funnel, and you are getting good conversion at a very good cost per conversion, but you want to increase the conversion volume now. Now you expand to people at the next stage of the funnel. You now realize that the cost per conversion is high. Where you are going to be able to complement for that is that if you were getting conversion at maybe 100 naira per conversion when you are at the very bottom of the funnel, reaching your warm audience, by the time as you are scaling to the next stage of the funnel, you realize that you might be getting, if you are getting 150 conversion at 100 naira per conversion at the bottom, you might now be getting 150 conversion at 130 naira per conversion. Now, when you now do the accounting and you now do the balancing, you will now realize that the profitability when you scale might be a little more than when you are getting at a lower CPA, because the volume is now complementing for the higher CPA when you scale. So scaling will not reduce the cost per conversion, we increase the cost per conversion, but the volume will complement for the profitability of your scaling. So that is how it works in the funnel. Because when you are scaling, you cannot say you are scaling when you don't have more audience. You want to scale, you want to reach more audience, and the more audience you want to reach, they will likely be available at the top of the funnel, who are people who don't know much about the problem they have or the solution you provide. So that is about that. Now, back to Google Ads. Which are the campaigns that will help you to reach people at the top of the funnel and at the bottom of the funnel? Now, this is where what Google actually do. When you choose sales as your campaign's objective, what you actually do is that what Google have done for you is that they have automatically decided that they are going to be delivering your advert to people at the bottom of the funnel. And when they are delivering your advert to people at the bottom of the funnel, you enter competition with a lot of other advertisers. So if you want to scale your advert in that level, you will start seeing a lot of strain in your budget, and you must be able to spend more, you get more. So, but what some people will do instead of choosing sales when they want to scale is that they will go ahead and create a campaign without objective and start capturing the cold audience and take them through the funnel by themselves. Instead of Google to do the work for them, they will do the work, taking them through the funnel. And that is why top marketers focus mostly on using webinars to take people through the funnels and sell them however they want to sell them. So that way, they are going to be spending cheaper and getting more people, more audience, and be able to convert more of them when they take them through the funnel than when they now let Google do the work for them, taking their targeting and directing them directly to the low people at the very bottom of the funnel, putting them in extreme competition, thereby increasing the cost per click, cost per action for their advertisement. So that is one of the things. So you have to understand what is the process of you converting your audience. What funnels are you taking them through? What is your creative doing? What data do you have for you to be able to decide which problem you are having. Where is the problem coming from? Is it your advert? Because sometimes the advert itself will not do the work for you. The advert will do the work of sending people down to your landing page. And one of the things you will have to know is whether your advert is doing the work or not is your CTR. If you set up your advertisement and you realize that the CTR is about 10%, then you might say, oh, the advert is doing good work. If the CTR is 10%, which means 10 out of 100 people that see your advert actually visit your landing page. And now, if your landing page is now 0% conversion, it shows that the problem is not actually from the advertisement, but you have to do something about your landing page. So this is where conversion track. If you don't have conversion tracking on your website, how are you going to know the numbers of the conversion rates? You will not know the conversion rates. So you need all of this data for you to be able to decide where is the problem coming from. And when it comes to YouTube advertising, I think I have to also explain this. YouTube advertisement, you will be able to know whether the problem is your ad itself or your landing page, because when the ad itself, you can get a view and you can get the CTR on your YouTube. Your YouTube has two metrics. You will be charged for views, not for click. Now, the percentage of view, let's look at one of my advert right here. Let's look at one of my advert right here. I don't this campaign has not been okay. Let me look at this. I think I'm still sharing my screen, right? Stream.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I want to look at one of the ad right. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at the metrics right here, the video assets, the video. I'm trying to explain something. Okay, now look right here. We have a video played to, and then we have view rate. When you're advertising on YouTube, you have the video played to, and it gives you the information about how many minutes or seconds of your video the users actually watch. And this can help you know whether your creative is the problem. The message of your advert, where the text you write for your advert, maybe click here, get 100% bonus on this and that, might be very good, but the creative itself, the advert, the video itself might be the problem. Now, look at it. The percentage of people that watch this video to 25% is 1.45. The percentage of people that watch it to 50% is 0.73, and the percentage of people that watch it to 75% is. So you will look at all of this, and this can help you to detect whether the problem is from your ad, the creative itself, or not. If your video is very interesting, one of the reasons for this video you are seeing right here, this is not about entertainment. If you are doing something that has to do with skill acquisition, this video you are seeing is about skills. You will be expecting a very low people will, especially in Nigeria, where people like entertainment and they don't like education. So the people that will view your video to 50%, 100% will be extremely low. But if it is entertainment, like BB Nigeria is out now, you should be expecting people that view to 100% to be maybe very, very high. So this is where you can now see where some of the problems are coming from. And when you now look at that, then you now go ahead and look at the view rate, which is where the view rate is now what will help you to know the hook in that your video itself and the text that you use in the advert. That is what will enhance the view rate. The view rate, this one, when it is in stream, we have a 7.45%. In feed, we have 1.07%, which will tell you that in feed, if we have 1.07%, it means that the text I use for the advert itself is where the problem is coming from. Because in stream, it's high. In text, in feed, there are the YouTube advertisements you see when you are just scrolling on YouTube, not when you are watching a video itself. When you are scrolling, let's go ahead and see if we can find something like that right here. So if you are just moving, like this is in-feed ad, right? This advert right here, you are seeing, right, is in-feed ad. I'm not watching video when the advert come here. You can see sponsored is an in-feed ad. If we go to the bottom, we can still see more of such advertisement on YouTube. Like this one again, this is in-feed ad. So the major thing that usually encourage high CTR for this type of advertisement is the thumbnail for the video, the advert, the thumbnail, and the text for the advert. So when you are diagnosing your advert, all of these are things that you have to take into consideration. And for this, I can see that 1% CTR when it is in feed is extremely low. Then I can go ahead and work on the thumbnail, and then I work on the text in the advert. But most likely, this one might be the problem of the thumbnail. Then I can go ahead and update the thumbnail for the video and see. So when you are able to diagnose some of these things using the available data, then you will know where the next problem for. So when you're able to solve the problem, you can get the best result from your advertisement. Does this look like something that makes sense in any way? Let's talk you. Okay, I can see some. I don't even know what to call it. Is it thumb up?
Emojis.
Reactions.
Yeah, I can see some reactions. So do we have other questions? The reason I cannot actually show how to create campaign for a particular reason. I told Mr. Adamola, there are many campaign types on Google. If I have to be showing how to create campaign, having to show how to create search campaign, video campaign, a display campaign, this and that, and then every campaign you create what will be aligned with the objective of your business. So I cannot be showing to create how to do, but I have the best thing I can do right in this training is giving you some core strategies and tactics that when you apply whatever campaign you are creating, whichever area you want to, you should be able to get the best result for your business. By the way, you might be able to take a course that can also guide you on the step-by-step to creating the campaign. I have that, but we will talk about that later. So now, so far with what we have done, let's also interact again and see what we can do again to address some of the core areas that you people might be having some challenges before we call it a day. So any other question, Mr. Damola, is anyone there?
Just 1 second. Let me check the Q&A feature. All right. I think this question by Hunjek Tech Limited. I installed the tag manager on my website. Is it unique to an account, or if the account is deactivated and you create with a new one, will it still be active?
If you create a new, it's every tag you create is going to be unique to the, when I demonstrated how to create a conversion and I install it on Google Tag Manager, you realize that we have a conversion ID. So that conversion ID will be unique to that account with the conversion label. So if the account is disabled and then you create another Google Ads account and you want to install it, definitely you need to create another conversion tracking tag on that new account and go ahead and delete the tag in the previous tag you created. You delete that previous tag because that account has been suspended already. Then the new account, you create a new tag, then you go back and install that new tag on your Google Tag Manager account. I think that answers the question.
Yes, it does. Thank you. All right, so just 2 more questions in the Q&A. This is by Renova Haven. I believe there is spa, because I literally can walk to the spa from where I'm at right now. Does it make sense to run campaigns for a service-based business without having a website? I think you answered this. If yes, what's the best campaign objective to use?
For a service-based business, there are 2 major considerations in this regard. If you have a Google My Business page, you can run a campaign using the Google My Business page and then limiting the campaigns targeting to maybe 5 to 10. 10-mile radius might be too much, depending on the kind of how you'll be able to deliver if you have the facility to deliver your service beyond your location. But if it is a service-based business like a Google advertisement, like myself and some other thing, and there's no how you should be a digital marketer running some service-based like that, and you don't have a website. But if you don't have a website, I have a video I made on how you can create a free website with Google Sites, and it will look professional. You are not going to be paying for hosting. You are not going to be paying for domain. Just go ahead and use Google Sites, create that, and you can use that as your landing page for your advertisement and capture your leads using Google Form. So from there, go back to WhatsApp and nurture your audience or your leads and do your business with whoever you are doing your business with. But make sure you do your campaign the right way. Now, the type of object you talk about, the kind of the objective of the campaign you are going to be using. You have to understand, like I analyzed, if you select 6, you are already telling Google that you are interested in targeting people at the very bottom of the funnel. You should be ready to spend money, because sometimes Google will be telling you that even when you put the budget of maybe 5,000, Google will tell you that that is too small for the audience, the objective you choose for your campaign. That your mate are choosing 150,000 naira and you are choosing 10,000 naira, 5,000. That is because your objective for that campaign. That is what that is why I also say that some marketers will, instead of doing Google doing the weeding for them, they will decide to go ahead and capture the cold audience and take them through the funnel and nurture them via their WhatsApp or maybe via their email whatsoever, depending on the tactics that the person knows he can use very well. But YouTube advertisement is very good. Search advertisement is very expensive and very competitive, and then you will have low volume. The low volume will likely make you think that the search advertisement is not working. YouTube, you will have a very high volume, but also depend on the type of campaign you are running. So when you want to capture leads, in fact, recently, when you choose the objective, a lot of things that you can do before, you can no longer do it. Google have removed them depending on the objectives you choose. So like when you choose the objective as a conversion on YouTube, you cannot bid on CPC. CPV, you cannot bid on CPV. You cannot, what I mean is that you cannot pay per view. Google will automatically choose the bidding strategy for you, which is going to be target cost per action, maximize conversion, or maximize conversion value. So that way, Google will be the one to decide how much they are going to be charging you for every views you are getting on your advertisement. But it is not everything. We don't, even if we have a lot of time, we cannot break everything down. That is why I will still encourage you guys to actually get some work, some training that can walk you through some of the processes. But on the basic strategies and tactics that can help, that is what we are addressing so far.
So any other question? So this is in order to sell a digital product like a course. Yeah. What type of campaign goal and strategy can you advise that I use? This is by Oluwaseun Temitayo.
For digital products, the best strategy, the best campaign I will recommend for you is YouTube campaign. For digital products, YouTube campaign, then take them through a webinar. Don't take them, if you send them directly to your sales page, you'll be losing a lot of them, except maybe there's no exception. You'll be losing a lot of them. So use a YouTube campaign, take them through a webinar. Your webinar doesn't have to be very complex. Depending on the type of digital product, the value of the digital product. If you are selling a digital product of maybe 1,000 naira, you might not even need to take them through a webinar. You can send them to the landing page. A lot of people can avoid to lose 1,000 naira. But if you are selling digital product of maybe a mid value in Nigeria now, even 1,000 naira is high ticket offer in Nigeria nowadays. So I'm sorry for saying 1,000 naira, everybody. So 1,000, you might even want to take, but capture the leads. Capture the leads. So if you capture the lead, you can use a redirection strategy. When you capture the lead, redirect them back to the sales page direct immediately. Don't waste the time. For example, this is what I'm trying to say. On my website, I have I don't even know the landing page. Okay, let's go here. On my website, this is a landing page right here. So instead of me sending you come here directly, what I can do is I can send you to a page where I have a checklist of the 25 things I do to get the best result on Google Ads. You will likely want to get the checklist. So immediately you click on download the checklist, I can redirect you back to this sales page. So I'm using one stone to kill two birds. So while you come back to see this sales page, if you buy, it's a win for me. If you don't buy, I already capture your information during the process of you getting the checklist I promised you. So I can now take you through the funnel and use my autoresponders to continue to follow up with you. Eventually, I might be able to sell more. That way, I will not be losing a lot of the people that come to my landing page because they don't have the money. Because when you get to this page and you realize that you are going to be paying maybe 20, how much are we even paying here? Okay. Maybe you are going to be paying 26,800. So you might realize that you don't have that money and you just close the page. At the end of the day, the advert has sent people to the landing page. The problem is no longer the advert, but the offer is what the people cannot afford, and then you lose the people. Probably the person might be able to afford the offer at the end of the month when the salary comes in. So why should you lose them? Send them to a page and capture them and redirect them immediately back to the sales page. If they can't buy, let them go and then continue to nurture them with your any other strategy you have, any other tactics you have, like WhatsApp follow-up or your email marketing strategy. So that can work better for a digital product. I think I'm able to answer that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we have some more questions in the chat box. I believe you'll be able to access it from your own end. But if you can just breeze through those questions as quickly as possible, because we're 8 minutes past 3. It was meant to be a 2-hour call. I suspected it was going to take longer than 2 hours, but hey,
what is the best? I think Olamilokun Victor says, what is the best way to sell a real estate and insurance products? Both of these, the best way you will be able to sell this is, in fact, is by capturing the leads. I invest in, I have a real estate stuff. I invest in real estate. I do something in real estate. When I wanted to buy a land, it might take me up to 2 to 3 months to conduct the research. So if you are sending me to a house in Banana Island, and I just go there and you are expecting me to buy, and you are not, you are losing the opportunity. So the best way is to capture the lead. Now, you are now going to be able to, in fact, for real estate, you will need to do some research. So that you'll be able to capture, have a creative that will be able to capture the interest of your target market. And then you can be able to nurture them and sell to them. And then some of the ways is depending on the type of real estate you are doing. If you are selling land, for example, if you are selling land in Lagos, I might want to capture your attention, telling you, download this PDF, or I can just do it like I want to reveal how to know all the area that is under acquisition in Lagos State. I can have it. Okay, if I'm not doing entirely in Lagos State, maybe I'm doing it. I'm based in Badagry, by the way. Maybe I'm doing in Badagry. I can say list of places that are under Lagos State acquisition. So download this for free before you invest. So, my actual target is I want to sell land in Badagry, but I know you might not want to buy land if I just send you that I have this land. Now I want to capture your information. Then I say you should download so that you know the places that are under acquisition. If there's possibility that people that actually want to buy land will want to know, who wants to buy land that is under acquisition so that they can go ahead and demolish their property. So they want to know. So by that, I can capture them and redirect them back to my offer. So that way, I will be using that method to capture their information, direct them back to my offer. If they don't buy, I can call them, I can mail them, I can have a webinar on the inspection, and then ask them to watch the inspection live, this and that. And that is how to go. Because, real estate offer, no, I don't think there's any real estate offer that is a low ticket. real estate offers are high ticket offers, and some people save a lot of for several years to invest in real estate. Nobody will want to just throw that money away just one day buying properties that will be demolished by government. So they want to do their due diligence, and that is why you should also take your time to help them do the due diligence with your marketing, capture them and nurture them, and you should be able to sell your real estate offer. This insurance is basically, we are lacking a lot of knowledge when it comes to insurance in Nigeria. You can do that of insurance with education. You can even use your analysis. For example, all of us, we do car insurance every day. We renew our car insurance, and but when somebody scratch our car, we just come down from the road, then we start exchanging blow. Instead of exchanging our insurance and then getting them to fix, we start exchanging blow because we are ignorant. We don't know what our insurance is all for. We just think the reason why we have insurance is because the police will not be stopping us. So for insurance person, you can educate people. 33 things you don't know about your car insurance. Now, download it for free. Or how your insurance can change your life for good. You don't know. Do you? So all different statics. Just is about the education, and then you can sell a lot of things to them. And many people, depending on the type of insurance you're doing, you can always come up with something to sell your offer. But if somebody doesn't know anything about insurance, they will not buy anything. People that are even afraid that insurance is a thief, they are scam, nothing using that. The people that don't have the knowledge, you can't sell it to them. So you have to take them through the knowledge process. And one of the best ways is using a webinar. Webinar can be on WhatsApp class. It can be a WhatsApp class, it can be a Telegram class, or it can even be the standard webinar like the one that I usually run. I have a webinar section that I usually have a lot of things. So that is about that. I think I'm able to answer that question. Which other question do we have? Okay, you said there's low ticket real estate offer. I don't think, well, maybe because I'm not rich. Which type of which type of real estate offer is low ticket? The only thing I think is low ticket is maybe 1,500 naira. So do we have anything in that range in real estate? The trial homes, please, let us know. Who is not interested in low ticket real estate? Please, people might be you might have your customers among the people here. Your offer, the low ticket offer you have, let's know. The best campaign for mobile phone accessory is shopping campaign. Shopping campaign is one of the only problem we have with shopping campaign in Nigeria is trust. People don't want to pay. People don't want to make payment, but shopping campaign is the best. What you can do with shopping campaign is when you are using WooCommerce, instead of allowing them to pay, you can go ahead and use payment on delivery. There's option for you to use payment on delivery on WooCommerce. So you can set up payment on delivery on WooCommerce and then list all your products on that WooCommerce store, then use shopping campaign. So with shopping campaign, your advert would, let me show you what shopping campaign is like. This is let's say like a S23 Ultra pouch. I don't even know. Okay, so now perfect. This is shopping campaign. Are you seeing sponsored right here, and you're saying Konga Jumia? These are shopping campaign. So the problem you will have is if people don't know your brand, they will be afraid to buy because nobody wants to be scammed. Even they are scamming a lot of people that think they cannot be scammed. But to avoid that, you can go ahead and use your payment method in your WooCommerce as payment on delivery. That way, your product will be showing as so, but when they come to your site, they can actually order without making any payment. So you can drive a lot of traffic with shopping ad at a very low price. And one of the good things about shopping ad is that, just like you are saying now, 4 of Konga's ad are showing at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 20 of your advert can show at the same time on shopping ad, but it doesn't happen like that in search advertisement. So this is the best advert for your business. If you don't have a WooCommerce website, go ahead and create and try and learn about running a shopping ad and you can use that. Just go ahead and set your product, your payment method to payment on delivery, if that is what you offer. But if you know people will pay on your website, then go ahead and set up payment on your website, and you should be able to get result with shopping campaign. So that is just about that. That is not low ticket, oh, Mr. Victor. Flexible payment is different from low ticket. You giving me flexible payment. If I don't have the money, where am I going to? Okay, flexible payment of 50 million naira, does it make it low ticket? It doesn't make it low ticket. So that is that.
Yes,
Even if
sir.
I'm
I said yes, sir. I was acknowledging what you said.
Even if it is 1 naira you have me to pay every month, you don't know that the burden that you are going to pay this money up can even make you to have depression. I'm living in a house I have to pay for the rest of my life, and you say it's low ticket.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun. At the beginning I said that we're going to have so much fun. Having this session today. I believe we did. So I don't know. I think we should wrap up right about now. We're going to have another session next month. Hopefully, maybe we'll be able to have it with our speaker today, Mr. Ojajuni Oluwole. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming around today.
Mr. Sam, I think I answered your question initially. Probably you were not around then. Your question related to that.
Yeah. And the recording will be shared with every one of us early next week at the very latest. Early next week. We just want to make sure that we look at videos.
In case they want to, in case there are anyone who is absolutely new to navigating Google Ads and having challenge with campaigns, I will do something for you guys. I have different Google Ads courses. I will create a code for Mr. Damola, giving you guys access to 50% discount.
Thank you so much.
Want to take the course, so he will share the code with you guys so that you can take the course. I think the course, the discount I give to people at the moment is currently available at 26,800. So I will slash that 26,800 by half for you guys, so that it means that you guys will be able to get it around, maybe that should be 13,400. So that is the code will be shared with you by Mr. Damola.
Thank you so much. And the good thing is that we are going to share the code with you via email. And we have a new Telegram community for every AdPay user. And you guys will be, we'll be able to participate. We'll be able to participate and ask questions, and everything you need to know, right? So it's going to be so much fun. And you'll be able to network there too. So I'm going to put the link to that community in the chat feature here. So please, let's all join. We also have a feedback form. Iyanu just shared it. I shared it earlier too. So please click on the form. Give us your feedback, overall feedback on, on the class, on the session today, and let's know, what you learned and what you think we could do better. As good as this is, I am certain that it can always get better. We would always want to make sure it's better for you. I don't know, Iyanu, can you share your screen now? Iyanu, yeah, can you share a screen? We have just a few more announcements and we are done. So I'll just take everything. Yeah, so that's the feedback form. Yeah, the last thing I wanted to say is that you can now pay for your Google Workspace in Naira using AdPay, using Mercury at Mercury Labs, not at AdPay. But you'd have, if you're an AdPay customer, you'd have already seen the announcement on your dashboard. But please, just a reminder, you can pay for your Google Workspace in Naira, right? And it comes 2.5% cheaper than when you go directly to Google, right? So you only need to fill out There's a form for it. We'll share with you. We'll share with everyone via email after this call, right? And we're just trying to make sure you can easily access these solutions that are critical to your operation. So for people that use Google Workspace, that means your email runs on a custom domain. So instead of your business name at gmail.com, your email could be info@yourbusinessname.com. And if it's hosted on Google, I just thought to simplify it. We can help you pay for it in Naira. We can simplify all of that process, right? And make life easier for you. I mean, I don't know if you like life to be easier for you, but would love to. And apologies to everyone whose hands are raised that we have not been able to answer their questions today. We are going to be back. Join us in the Telegram group, and we'll be able to answer as many questions there as possible. So thank you again. We're going to see in August.
Just a moment.
Yes, sir.
I want to send a code to you directly before I go, because once I leave here now.
All right.
I might not be able to do it.
All right,
again.
so we'll just chill out for the code. Wait out for the code a little, and we'll be able to get it done.
So code of Google. Almost done. So,
all right, you can share with me on WhatsApp so we can.
Yes, I'm going to share it now.
All right, guys. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just want to check the Telegram community. Hopefully, we have a lot of people joining. Okay, I can see 4 people have joined.
Link.
4 people have joined. Thank you guys for joining. Okay, I'm not sure I've seen it. Is it in the chat box?
Yes.
Or in my WhatsApp?
That is the code and the
my
link.
WhatsApp so I can share on the Telegram community.
You said?
You share on the WhatsApp too, so I can share on the Telegram
Okay. I'm
community.
sending it right to you on WhatsApp now.
All right, thank you.
That is it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So,
guys, thank
sorry
you.
for
you.
For those I could not answer the questions is because of time. So I'm so sorry about that. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you. So we'll see next month.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Au revoir. Bye. Thank you guys for joining today. We did 2 hours 23 minutes or 20 minutes or so. Thank you so much. We are grateful.